Hey, friendo, Steve here.
Hey, Larson.
And welcome back to Going In Raw, the only pro wrestling podcast you need to be listening to right here at youtube.com/Steven Larson. Available wherever podcasts can be found. And, of course, taped live at the twitch.tv/Steven Larson, where this weekend we'll be doing our live watch-along of AEW Double or Nothing. The buy-in will feature the Hookhausen match. We'll be watching it from the buy-in. The buy-in's probably like an hour, right?
I would think so. That's usually the case.
Which would be around 4 Pacific, 7 Eastern, I believe.
Yeah. I believe right now there's 2 matches, according to Wikipedia at least, announced for the buy-in. It's the one you mentioned, and then also Jade versus Anna Jay. Oh,
that's in the buy-in too? Okay. All right. So, it's a lot of fun, man. We always say wrestling is better when you're watching it with friends. So join the friendos. It's a wildly good time. We do the channel points betting thing, which is always a lot of fun, and then of course Big Red's going to be on the line as well, so we'll be doing our live predictions points for that as well. But sort of our preliminary predictions video will go up over at Friendo Club TV. Make sure you're subbed over there as well, so check that out. That'll be going up on Friday. Tomorrow night we got the Smash Zone at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, here at the Twitch. Earlier in the day, we're going to be doing, probably around 3 or so, I think, we're going to be doing the Numbers Don't Lie, which is our exclusive video for patrons, YouTube channel members, and, of course, Twitch subs as well. We're going to be taking a look at the career of Raven and applying the Going In Raw math to him. So, today's episode of Going In Raw, we're going to talk about some NXT 2.0. But first, of course, as I stated, we're on the road coming down to the exit for Double or Nothing there in Vegas. And this was the go-home Dynamite for Double or Nothing. Of course, on Friday, there's still a live Rampage where there's still some things that are going to shake out. But first, let's talk about this, given that after Double or Nothing, looking past that, there is the Forbidden Door, and it seems like we got the first hint of what's going to be happening at Forbidden Door. Larson, what happened?
So at the conclusion of FTR and Roppongi Vice's Ring of Honor title match, it was conclusion because it ended DQ. United Empire
today,
thank you,
Empire
showed up, laid everybody out. Dax went through a table. Trent went through a table. They grabbed those Ring of Honor tag titles, held them high, seemingly indicating they're going after said belts. Therefore, you would think that'd be the first match that is more or less announced for Forbidden Door. And it brought up an interesting idea. Now, we have talked about the difficulty they might have, Ring of Honor and AEW, navigating the politics of doing champ versus champ type matches.
Sure.
So I think the idea of having some Ring of Honor titles defended there, because their titles kind of, they're defended on Dynamite, but like the relaunch of Ring of Honor hasn't happened yet.
I thought you were going to say their titles kind of don't matter.
No, I would say they're kind of titles without a show. That's
the titles out of home, really, yeah.
And so you could have those titles defended without having to worry so much about the politics of Okada going up against whoever's AEW champ walking into Forbidden Door. Yeah. So if we have FTR taking on Great O'Khan and Jeff Cobb, stellar match. It'd be really awesome.
It'd be a really good match.
It will be. You have Samoa Joe defend the TV title. He's already, he beat Suzuki for that belt, so it probably won't be Suzuki. Tomohiro Ishii.
Yeah,
that's a good match of styles.
Goto. Yeah, somebody like that.
Yeah. That would be great. So, if any titles are defended on the show, I would think it would probably be the Ring of Honor titles.
There's also, the thing is, like you said, the Ring of Honor titles don't really have a home. It wouldn't be a terrible idea. Like, it wouldn't be out of the realm of possibility. Like, I'm thinking of Wheeler Yuta, for example, right? He's the pure champion.
Yeah.
Why not have, could you imagine, Zack Sabre Jr., I couldn't think of a guy better for that Ring of Honor Pure title.
Oh, totally.
What if he took on Wheeler Yuta, won it, and that sort of offsets some of the AEW heavy wins we're going to get because Tony Khan is the man, and what he says goes, Larson, as far as the Forbidden Door goes.
I expect 50-50 booking for this whole show. You bring up the pure title. Wheeler Yuta, of course, is now in Japan wrestling in Best of Super Juniors.
Right.
It's entirely possible they set up his feud for Forbidden Door during those shows.
That could be
entirely possible.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
for the pure title.
Yeah, so that'll be interesting. Yeah, it was pretty surprising, but pretty cool to see the Okan and Cobb there tonight on Dynamite. Of course, this is Jeff Cobb's second appearance on Dynamite.
Indeed.
He was Jericho's hired hand like 3 years ago, or
to take out Mox.
Ago. Yeah, but a lot of things have changed there for Jeff Cobb, a major player there in New Japan. That'll be really, really good. Be interesting to see Will Ospreay, what he does at Forbidden Door. I know Punk has called him out, so that's a potential match for him.
Ospreay has like a kidney infection right now.
Oh, shit, really?
That's taken him out of action. I don't know how long he's going to be out for. I believe it was a kidney infection.
Ooh, wow.
He had, I think it was Warrior Wrestling appearance this week. He had to cancel.
I saw that he was being replaced by somebody doing something. So hopefully he heals up pretty soon, because that dude is an awesome wrestler.
Kidney infection.
Dynamite, before we get to our recap, it did actually kick off with the cage match. I was happy we didn't have to see Wardlow do a moonsault.
I got a little nervous when he climbed the top of the cage after he won, just because that's a pretty tall cage.
I know.
Pretty tall, pretty high up.
And, they love their shout out. They love their references, So I'm glad the big man didn't do that. This is actually a really efficiently booked cage match that featured an awesome. I'm not a huge fan of the unprotected chair shots to the head, but the chairman lived up to his name. The problem is he doled out a chair shot inadvertently to MJF, laid out him as the ref, and Wardlow picked up the win. We both knew that Wardlow was going to win this because this match has to happen. It was really fun to see it. Wardlow stood super tall here, but the outcome of this match is not in any. I mean, this is going to be a really high confidence point match, right? You don't see Wardlow.
You mean for Wardlow winning?
Yeah,
you would think so, because the alternative is what MJF keeps Wardlow from signing with AEW. That was the stipulation.
It's like an impossible, it's an impossible thing to get out of for Wardlow. It'd be kind of silly if they didn't.
It would be. You'd think Wardlow would have to win this, yes. And the one thing that gives me pause is that Wardlow didn't get a powerbomb MJF tonight.
Yeah,
and they might do a thing where Wardlow powerbombs MJF, and that's kind of his win, but ultimately loses the match. I'd be surprised if that happens.
Crowd would dump on that. Dump on it big time.
I know.
Yeah, and we got the finals for the men's side of the Owen tournament, as sort of I expected. Samoa Joe and Adam Cole are going to be putting on a classic at Double or Nothing for the Owen. I wonder if this is finally going to be where Jay Lethal, Satnam Singh, and Sanjay Dutt all come into play, and perhaps cost Samoa Joe this victory against Adam Budge, and then also Britt Baker reaches the finals, which didn't shock me at all because she's totally winning the entire thing.
I don't feel as confident as you are that she's winning the thing. I think Ruby Soho, should she get past Chris Statlander, has a pretty good chance. Now, if Statlander reaches a final, Britt's winning.
The thing about Statlander that I wouldn't counter out for Rampage is because the semifinal match is going to be on Rampage. She has recently gone through a rebrand. Mm-hmm. She is no longer an alien, and she's been featured in a heavy way, which it wouldn't shock me. I'd be surprised but not shocked if Statlander ended up winning this, because we've already kind of seen Ruby versus Britt for the title, I think, right after Ruby debuted.
Because she won the Battle Royal.
Mm-hmm,
so title shot.
I mean, I'm sure Statlander probably had a title shot. Britt's reign was pretty long, but this is a new Statlander, and so we'll see on Rampage. Should be a hell of a match regardless. But and on top of that, Ruby had already beat Statlander anyways. I think maybe Statlander will pick up that win, but we'll find out.
But as Ruby said, this is a new Statlander.
It is a new Statlander.
So
there's a new Statlander.
It's like beating a whole new opponent.
Mm-hmm, exactly. Well, there you go. That's a good way to put it.
That's a good way to look at it, isn't it? I know it is. So let's get into it. Kicked off with, as you mentioned, cage match, Shawn Spears versus Wardlow. MJF came out dressed a la Shawn Michaels. What, in 2000? What year did he come back? What was the special guest ref on SmackDown? That 99?
God, wasn't it the debut episode of SmackDown?
Maybe it was. Yeah,
would have been 99 then, I think. Yeah, because Triple H was champion. Yeah,
yeah. He had the tight shorts on.
Well, it's kind of interesting because there was another. When I did a little picture research here, and I was like, oh wait, this is weird. So like, yes, the shorts were literally a replica. Number one,
yeah.
Is it just me, or is MJF getting jacked these days?
He's doing a lot of squats because his quads are enormous.
Bro, his arms are huge. He was never this big before. And I don't know, maybe Wardlow's giving him some tips or something because he is getting jacked, like the legs and the arms.
I didn't really notice the quads. The quads were unreal.
Yeah. But like the freaking, like he was not the most jacked dude in the world.
Yeah.
Just recently. And he must be on I don't know, some Nugenics or whatever. I don't know what he's doing, but it's working. So yeah, he had a homage HBK. So HBK, when he was a ref, he didn't have the ref stripes back in '99, but apparently
he had the Shawn Michaels Wrestling Academy shirt on.
He did, but there was a time that preceded that, evidently, that he guest refed, and I'm not even sure the match. It looked like maybe it was, I don't know, Vader or something. I don't know. But
I think it was Brett and Undertaker.
Okay. But he did have the same little shorts, and he had the sleeveless ref outfit.
Yep.
Yeah,
he did.
the stripes.
He did.
Yeah. So anyways, good shout out there from MJF, of course.
Indeed.
Referencing Shawn Michaels, the guy that's currently heading up NXT, another WWE reference for MJF because he's out the door.
And instead of just having normal referee stripes, he had the same pattern that was on his scarf,
the Burberry,
as the stripes.
Yeah, the Burberry thing. Yeah,
Burberry. Yes, that's right.
Yeah. I saw on one of the what was it, the Ball is Life Twitter account, there was a team playing like, I don't know, it was like some sort of, I don't know, AAU ball or something like that, and they had Burberry basketball jerseys on.
Wow,
yeah, pretty great. Anyways, this is a lot of fun. MJF couldn't find the keys to the handcuffs to kick things off, so of course Spears attacks. MJF helps him out a little bit. MJF calls for the bell, and of course, they're just laying in on Wardlow pretty hardcore.
Yeah.
So
it's pretty much a 2-on-1 match.
It is, exactly. So MJF, he's obviously hemming and hawing over opening these handcuffs, unlocking them. So Wardlow gets pissed off. He just ends up breaking these cuffs and starts wrecking Shawn Spears. Eventually, the other two get the upper hand, and MJF has Wardlow up for a chair shot from the chairman. So the chairman loads up his chair, goes in, Wardlow gets out of the way, and bang, hits MJF. And I like this because they did this great sort of very memeable, gifable shot where Shawn Spears is like, holy shit, what did I just do?
We give AEW some crap for their TV direction because sometimes they miss moments. They did a good job in this match, and then later on, they did a good job in another match. When we'll get to it, I'll remember what it is. But they actually did a really good job of making sure they get the story beats and photograph them how they should, because there was that, and then you have the shot of Spears reacting, and then you have Wardlow coming up behind him.
Yeah.
Really well done.
And I like that. I didn't notice this myself, put it together myself, but on Twitter I saw somebody mention, because I heard Excalibur say like Leviathan Rising, and then Wardlow recently has mentioned how he believes his career sort of has paralleled Batista's, aka formerly known as the Leviathan
in OVW.
Yeah. Yep. So anyways, Wardlow just starts powerbombing the living shit out of Shawn Spears, and then we get Bryce Remsburg, the ref, comes running down because MJF is out from that chair shot. He gets in there, so we have a fresh, unbiased ref. Wardlow gives one final powerbomb onto Spears onto the chair and just steps on him for the win to get the pin there. And then Wardlow goes to pick up MJF for a powerbomb, but then like 20 security guys hit the ring, and he fights them all off, powerbombs one of the guards into the cage, and he disappears straight into the abyss between the cage and the mat. That was good stuff. And then, MJF is able to escape. Wardlow climbs to the top of the cage to celebrate.
Yep. We get a quick bit backstage where Daniel Garcia is talking about how this weekend they're going to show Eddie and everybody else how violent sports entertainment can be. And then they walk up to, a production worker.
Yeah.
There at Dynamite. And he's wearing a mock shirt.
Yeah.
And they kind of bully him a little bit. And then Jericho throws a fireball in his face because why?
He's a wizard.
As he likes to say. Then we get CM Punk, Hangman Page, face-to-face. Page wilting under the pressure of being champion. This is really getting to him. So Punk comes out first, Page a second. Crowd at first, seemingly 100% behind CM Punk. Once he starts talking, there's some boos there. There's a little bit of boos for Punk. A lot of CM Punk chants. Nonetheless, he starts. He says, it's safe to say the biggest moment of my career happened in Vegas. That's where he did the pipe bomb.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, I'm grateful to be in the position I'm in. I love the fans all over the world. I plan on walking in double nothing as challenger. I plan on walking out champ. Page is next. And Page's like, I said what I was going to do to you, Punk. Am I stuttering? There's nothing you can do that could cause me to lose my title. And then Punk's like, I don't know why you're taking this personally. You're the champ for a reason. You're possibly the toughest SOB on the roster, and you hold the gold for a reason. There's a line of guys back there that wants a shot at the title. It's just business to me. It's not personal. And Page says, again, 3 weeks ago, I told you I was going to destroy you, embarrass you. And I didn't mean that it's going to happen double or nothing. That's going to happen right now, tonight. So I've been waiting for this moment for months. I imagine myself sitting at the top of the ramp and rolling out a pipe bomb of my own down to your feet, have it blow up in your face. But now that we're here at this moment, I realize that I can't do it. It's not because I'm afraid I'll get fired or I'm afraid of you, but the more I thought about it, it would be doing exactly what you would do. You said to fight you with pettiness is not the way I would do it. I don't hate you. I almost pity you. And I have no respect for you or what you've done since you've gotten here. He says, I don't think you understand what it means to be champion around here. Sure, you got to have the matches, but once that red light goes off and you go backstage, it's the small, quiet moments that really make you a champ. And he says, Punk, you keep talking about workers' rights, and you've shown the opposite since you've gotten here. I love this place. I've been here since the beginning, and I won't be defending the title against you this Sunday. I'll be defending AEW from you.
Yeah.
And so Paige hands the mic back to Tony, and Punk says, I don't know why you're so angry, why you're taking this personally. It just makes me a bit confused. You're talking in circles, but you're so upset that I'm here, then you'll have to do something about it on Sunday. He says, again, I respect you. Remember the roads you travel on were paved by me. This house that was built was constructed by wood that I chopped down. He says, I gave AEW the blueprint to be created. He says, you're going to shake my hand someday. In fact, you're going to do it right now. So he offers his hand. He sticks it out. He says to Paige, all of this misplaced anger. You're not mad at me. You're mad at yourself. And Punk, again, tells Paige, shake my hand. He kind of shoves him in the chest a little bit. And then Paige punches him. Punk hits the mat, smiles, and then Paige just leaves in a huff. Paige can't handle this pressure.
Yeah,
he's falling apart.
He's a mess.
He's absolutely falling apart.
Yeah, this is a bit on the meandering side, to be honest. I'm not sure really what to make of this. I mean, I get the point. Hangman's like you said, he's wilting. He's sort of crumbling under the pressure of being champ, which I don't know. Kind of wish they'd have just done a thing where they have like a picture of Hangman 10 years ago at a meet and greet with CM Punk.
Oh, the same thing they did with MJF. Huh?
Just do the same thing over and over. Everybody has a picture with them. I'm joking about that. Yeah, but this was not the most effective promo in the world.
I think your larger point is that you wish it was made a bit more personal. There's some kind of abstract ideas that they kind of had alluded to. Has been very subtextual. That being Paige. I mean, he says it here. Paige defending AEW from Punk. The WB guy's coming in. And he's already beat Danielson. He's already beat Cole. I would say Danielson's more of a WWE guy than Cole was, even though Cole was in NXT for a number of years.
Yeah, I don't know. I no, the point with Cole is absolutely because he came in the same time as Danielson.
Exactly.
And basically Punk. And I get that. No, I think it's fine. When we've seen that theme explored already, and this is just on a larger stage, it's just, man, Hangman took this turn really sharply. And it sort of came out of nowhere, and I wonder if it was to sort of combat the fact that Punk is the most over guy in the company, and it used to be Hangman. And I think there might be something more effective there with that idea than what we've gotten anyways.
But at the same time, though, the way they probably knowing that, and that it probably hurts Paige even more. He's been there since day one. You know, the very first press conference, he says, I want this title. It takes him 3 years to get it. Now that he's champion, he's at the top of the mountain. He was the most beloved wrestler in the entire company. And then here comes Phil and takes that title. Well, he'll be damned if he takes his actual AEW championship, you know?
Yeah. I think the fact that we're kind of debating it right now indicates to me that they probably could have done this a bit more effectively. But the match itself is going to be pretty good.
Oh, it'll be really good.
Because I just think that there's not, like, if you look, I mean, honestly, just look at how much heat the MJF Punk stuff brought and how clear that was, how absolutely clear it was. I don't literally mean I want a picture of Hangman with a meet and greet. That was a joke.
I know. Yeah, there was I know what you mean, but Paige's story has always been about subtlety and nuance, you know, and this just feels like an extension, for me at least, an extension of that.
Yeah. After that, we had a TBS title match video package. We had, after that, Mox and Eddie Kingston versus Private Party. Appreciate, I did notice this, like, I don't know, 2 weeks ago whenever he debuted it, but the dyed beard on Mark Quinn.
Oh, it's amazing.
It's just great. It's so amazing. All of a sudden, he looks like he's in his 50s.
Oh, it is so awesome. It is so awesome.
It's pretty darn funny. We had Regal and Jericho on commentary here. Jericho. So, of course, Jericho appreciates it. They all come out, so Jericho can be on commentary. They're all just in a line next to him at commentary. But before that, when they come out, like, you know, his music plays, and he's like, I just cut the music. You guys don't deserve to hear my music. You know, they got the wizard in front of his name now. I love this version of Jericho, man. Number one, he looks amazing. He looks absolutely phenomenal in shape.
He had like some Steven Tyler circa like 1979 pants on.
What were those? Those were amazing. So they showed video of Danielson's leg getting trapped between the ramp and the ring. Mm-hmm. Of course, you know, this is a Mox and Eddie Kingston. They're not going to lose to Private Party. And we got that. We got a paradigm shift here to get the win for their team. Eddie hit the back fist on Quinn. Mox hit a bunch of elbows on Cassidy, and then he hit that paradigm shift. Then Jericho Appreciation Society charged to the ring. A huge brawl breaks out. Santana Ortiz run out to join the fight. Danielson hobbles down 2, and the refs come out to break it up. I mean, I don't know. Is that leg spot? Was that like a whole deal to help, like, I don't know, give the idea that Jericho Appreciation Society has a shot? Because this is a wildly lopsided match that's about to take place here.
Yeah, no, it feels that way. I know. And I would not be surprised if they kind of set up, okay, we need an injury angle going into this match. What can we do? And they're all around their ringside. And Bryan Danielson walks up the stage and has that kind of smirk smile he gets when he knows he's got something good.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
And says, what if I get my leg stuck in there?
Yeah. What if I get my
leg stuck? He probably says it kind of because he thinks it's a good idea, but also because he thinks it's kind of funny.
This is probably, yeah.
If you watch him on Total Bellas,
mm-hmm.
you know, that totally fits, seemingly, based on what we saw on that show, his personality.
Yeah. No, I'm still not sure if the whole the way he was like, yeah, no, the Brock Lesnar match, I was gonna move around like
exactly what I'm talking about.
A chimpanzee, and it's like,
because
are you being serious or not? Because it could be either way.
Exactly what I'm talking about. Because he said it with seriousness, but at the same time, he had that half smirk smile on.
Yeah.
He thinks it's a good idea, but also kind of funny.
And he starts moving around like it too. No, that was a terrific moment.
That was fantastic. Thank you for bringing that up, because that's exactly what I was referencing.
So after that, we had an Owen Hart tournament video package, followed by Roppongi nights.
I didn't have any chips before we started.
Eating chips every night.
I'm being honest. I'm out of the chips I actually really like.
There's some good theme songs here in AEW these days, man. FTR. I mean, it's
top notch.
It's just a ripoff of Giorgio Moroder, but still.
It's still that's S tier, man.
S tier. Yes, it is S tier.
I think I was going to say.
I don't know, but I didn't expect you to bust out tier list vernacular. That was good. S tier.
I know my tiers.
So anyways, Roppongi Vice versus FTR. What is this? This is where the Empire Today comes out. Yeah.
So, Trent and Rocky hit strong zero. Cash breaks up the pin, and that's when Great O'Khan and Jeff Cobb storm the ring. They take out everybody. Ref calls off the match. Down on the floor, Jeff Cobb Dr. Bombs Dax to the announce table, and then Great O'Khan sets the table up ringside. Iron Claws Trent through it.
Ooh,
and
that was gnarly.
That was. And then Jeff Cobb gets those Ring of Honor tag titles, brings him in the ring. He and Great O'Khan hold them up.
Yep.
That'll be a fun match.
This Hardy's promo was hilarious. Matt,
it didn't get any better with Jeff doing a goat impression.
I did not expect that at all. That was hilarious. So Matt starts off saying, there's a lot of similarities with the Young Bucks. He says, but we broke into the industry in the early 90s. It was a much different culture. He says the Bucks couldn't have survived that. Not only did they survive, they became innovators. Or not only did we survive, we became innovators. Yeah. He says, we're going to prove why we are the GOAT tag team. And Hardy goes, it's a goat, right? He says, it's a goat, right? He says, we're not in our prime, man. We're in our over prime. Pressure's on us to win. It's a new beginning. AEW's a new clean slate for me.
But approaching the end.
But approaching the end, this guy is all about the circular logic. It's great. He's abstract and he's obtuse. He says, this is our last run to add. He says, getting the AEW tag titles will be the last ones to add to our collection of gold. To add to our status as legends. And then Matt says, the Bucks have never been better than us, and we're better than them now. He says the Bucks may be elites, but we are the elite. And he's got a T-shirt that mimics the elite logo that says
the delete.
The delete, yeah.
Delete. Next, we got Ricky Starks versus Swerve Strickland versus Jungle Boy. This is a hell of a match.
Oh, boy, this is a match right here, man. This is a good match. Holy moly.
My favorite part
my God.
is when Ricky Starks, gosh, what did he do? He did a move where he hit his rear end on the apron, and you hear him say, ow, my ass.
He is an absolute joy and a treasure.
He really is.
He absolutely is. It was great because you know how squeamish I am when any pro wrestling move happens. That bit where Jungle Boy tries to hit that poison Ron on Swerve, and Swerve just sticks the landing. I turned away and they said, "Oh, he landed on his feet." I was like, "Oh man, I missed that." Really?
It's like, "Oh, thank God."
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, anyways, the finish saw.
The finish was great.
A bunch of stuff here.
Yeah, a bunch of stuff is happening. I do my little mark here. Starks is looking for his finish on Swerve. Swerve blocks that. He's looking for what looks like a JLM driver. Starks escapes that. He pokes Swerve in the eye, hits his finish. The Jungle Boy puts the snare trap on Starks. So Starks crawls, gets to the bottom rope. Jungle Boy pulls him back in the middle of the ring, puts the snare trap on again. Swerve breaks it up with a house call.
Because Starks is basically passed out at that point. The ref is about to call it. Yeah.
Yeah. And then Starks, he hits Starks with a top rope double stomp to get the win.
That's right.
Hobbs comes to the ring. He lays out Swerve with the clothesline. He starts destroying Jungle Boy. That brings Luchasaurus out. He tries to choke slam Hobbs. Hobbs just powers right out of that. Keith Lee comes down. Brawl breaks out. Eventually, Keith Lee clears the ring and then hits Hobbs and Luchasaurus with the plancha. So not only did Swerve win the match, Keith Lee stood tall. It's not looking good for Keith Lee and Swerve winning those tag titles on Sunday.
I don't think it looks good for anybody besides Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy, I'll be honest with you. And I kind of feel like, would it shock you if the Hardys were the ones to take those titles off of, given that they're aligned with Christian, their old running buddy, their old rival? It wouldn't shock me if it was the Hardys, man.
FTR is still the top-rated tag team in the latest rankings.
Yeah.
So they're going to get a shot.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if FTR.
Ooh, could you imagine FTR Hardys feud after that?
That's what I'm saying.
Ooh. Yeah, that's good
what I'm
stuff
saying.
right there. After that, we had a Men of the Year and Lambert promo. This was confusing, although I love the idea that like every champion gets his own version of the TNT title.
Yeah, I like that.
I think that's a really cool thing. So Lambert had said he had ordered Sky a new custom-made TNT title in his image. He's on Friday on Rampage. They're going to debut that. I mean, they have one. They have a spare. It's
the trophy case.
That's why it's fun. That's why this is hilarious, because they literally have a spare. The one time in the story where they destroy a title, they just order a new title.
That's in the trophy case. It's locked. Can't get into it.
Yeah, but okay, if that's the logic, then wouldn't they can't get to it? Okay,
locked.
You win. It's locked. You can't get to it. How did they put it in there in the first place then?
They had to unlock it.
Oh. Next up, we had a Thunder Rosa interview where they tried to play her off with her music. Oh, man. She says, so she comes out, she's like hiding half her face because she usually has paint on it. And she's like, look at my face, Tony. She's like, I got no face paint. She said, this is the real me. She said, this is the face of someone who's grateful to be champ. Face of someone who's never complained. She says, Serena's not a champion. She complained. She's a little petty about this and that. She points fingers. She says maybe she should look in the mirror and blame herself. On Sunday, Serena isn't going to see this face. On Sunday, the war paint's going to go on. On Sunday, La Mera Mera will teach her a lesson in respect for disrespecting Tony, Dustin, and myself. She says, be ready, because you're going to... The fuck? Why are you playing my music? So I'm not done yet. Stop playing my music. I'm not going anywhere. So I'm going to defeat you and haunt you forever. Mm-hmm. It's like, man, y'all got to get your cues a little bit better.
I know. A little bit tighter on the cues there. Then we had a Red Velvet interview, and she's talking about how she was supposed to move on and face Ruby. And Ruby's like, oh, I heard my name. And she steps in and says, hey, what's up? And Red Velvet hands her a full scouting report on Chris Statlander.
Yeah, like what was that? Yeah.
Because she's got a bad shoulder. She's got a bad knee. Here, you might need this. So she hands this to Ruby and walks out. And Ruby says, last time I faced Chris, I barely won. But I'm facing a whole new Chris Statlander this Friday, so this doesn't matter. But maybe I'll keep some of this in mind.
Ooh.
And she throws the scouting report away.
Yeah. After that, we had Britt Baker versus Toni Storm. This is a fun match. I kind of feel like the ending was a little bit on the botchy side. Not botchy side, but I think it just didn't go as planned because I think Jamie Hayter was supposed to grab Britt's hand to help with the leverage, and it didn't quite work out. Britt was able to get the rope, and the ref didn't see. But this was a really fun match. I really like this. This is good stuff.
I was kind of hoping Toni would win. No disrespect to Britt. I think she's great. She had a long title run. Yeah. I just want some more people involved in the top of the women's division.
Yeah, not gonna happen. Sorry. I'm afraid I got some bad news. She's gonna win the Owen tournament, man, because she needs that win, Larson. She needs that win.
She had that belt for 8 months?
I know, and now she doesn't have a title. She needs something.
Oh gosh.
Hey man, Jade needs to take that title off of Thunder Rosa.
I hope that at some point she's gonna have both belts.
I hope so.
I've been saying that for months, ever since Jade won the TBS title. She's having both those belts. I've been saying that for a while. You're stealing my idea. Anyways, Britt moves on to the finals of the Owen tournament. Then we have our men's Owens tournament semifinal. Kyle O'Reilly, Smojo. These two guys beat the shit out of each other.
Oh man, this was rough.
I love that Smojo, since he's come to AEW after leaving NXT/WWE, has upped the violence level of his matches at least a good 25 to 33 and 1/3%.
Oh, that's the joy of AEW. You can do that.
You can do what you want to do.
You can do what you want to do, man. We muscle busters all the time.
Oh, hell yeah.
It's kind of amazing, yeah. So anyways, yeah, he makes Kyle O'Reilly pass out. He doesn't take the wimps away out and taps out. Now he passes out.
The finish of this was really good because Kyle is working over Joe's arm, the one that Jay Lethal and Sanjay Dutt were going after.
Mm-hmm.
And so Joe catches him with the clutch from behind after he kicks out of a roll-up. And Kyle's trying to work that bad arm to get out of the hold, but Joe just sinks it in a little bit tighter, and Kyle just can't do anything about it. Joe finally gets the other arm involved, and yeah, he passes out. That was good.
Yeah, it was good stuff. So afterwards, Adam Budge comes to the stage, does an Adam Cole baby. So yeah, that should be a killer match, an absolute killer match.
Adam Cole's winning that one though.
Yes, he totally is. It's gonna be the Cole household, man. Telling you.
I don't know.
Yeah, dude. Britt really needs that win. So
debatable.
Before we answer some questions, we had an NXT 2.0 last night, and we're on the road to. Wait, do they even have a thing coming up? No.
Yeah, they have In Your House.
In Your House. That's right. Yeah, that's 4th. Where that big Braun Breaker match is going to happen.
June 4th, I think. Oh gosh.
What?
No, just this whole Braun Joe Gacy storyline. Not into it.
Oh, it's terrible. It's awful. Okay, in the pre-show at the beginning of this show, he said we're going to speed run this NXT preview. So a review. How are we going to do that?
All right, so kicked off the Tony D'Angelo promo. He has issues with Legado.
There's no big picture stuff. Is there any big picture stuff? What was your big takeaway? Hey, Roxanne Perez beat Lash Legend.
Yeah, she's going to win this tournament now that Nikita Lyons is injured.
Yeah.
Roxanne Perez is winning.
Yep. Oh, you don't think they're going to do Tiffany Stratton? I think they're really high on Tiffany Stratton.
No, I understandably, because she's really improved. She's gotten really good in the span of what?
In a very short period of time.
3 months since she debuted.
She has upped her sports entertainment value significantly. I think you're right. I think it's still going to be Roxanne Perez, but
I think so too.
Tiffany Stratton, she's getting really good though.
I did like this new friendship forming between Sangha and Wesley. I think that's great.
Me too. Sanga's my favorite thing in NXT right now, man. Oh, he's terrific.
I appreciate this. One thing I appreciate NXT this week. They still have some bits where they're still kind of throwing crap against the wall, but I think now they're discovering who these characters are, and now we're seeing relationships forged between characters.
Yeah,
and there's still a lot of gimmicky characters, but the interpersonal dynamics kind of make it interesting. So it's not just huge over the top gimmicky character. You know, we got Briggs and Jensen and Fallon. Their dynamic is interesting.
It is. No, it feels. I don't necessarily want to say genuine because it's all obvious they're still acting, but they have good chemistry.
It's obvious that Shawn Michaels is involved in both this and NXT UK, because that's what NXT UK sells interpersonal dynamics and people's relationships and exploring those relationships.
Yeah,
that's what NXT UK does better than probably anybody.
Yeah.
When AEW is hitting on all cylinders, they do it really well too. Some of their best stories are involved about people's relationships. Anyways, you can see Shawn Michaels' fingerprints on both those shows, UK and this, based on that, if that's his thing. You know, so there's your overarching thing, Steve.
Oh, good. That was good. That was really good. See,
good. All right, she kicked off Tony D'Angelo promo. He still has beef with Legado. And he says what Stacks and Two Dimes are going to do to Idris Enofe and Malik Blade is a taste of what Legado has coming next.
This bummed me the fuck out. You know why? Because, number one, Idris Enofe and Malik Blade are terrific talents.
Yes,
they should not be taking these losses to these, like, fresh out of developmental guys. And on top of that, you have a way out. Legado showed up during this match. Why wouldn't they have cost them the match? It doesn't really do much at all to Stacks and Two Dimes.
No.
And you get another one of those wins for Idris and Malik that they're known for, the sort of fluke wins where they were going to lose and then they pull out the win because of forces beyond their control.
Yeah.
Lost opportunity there, man. I really like Enofe and Blade.
Me too.
You know, they got tons of personality. They're super fun in the ring.
Idris Enofe has the best cape in all of
wrestling. He's got the best cape in all of wrestling.
It is
absolutely
awesome. And again, their dynamic is really fun.
What was that sweater vest that Malik Blade wore to the ring?
That was amazing.
What was that? That was hilarious. I loved it. So anyways, Stacks and Two Dimes get the win here. Tony tells
their finisher is left a little bit to be desired. They hit stereo forearms and stereo running boots.
It was dumb. It's dumb. Yeah, a lot to be desired. So Tony tells Legado, get in the ring. They do. Big brawl breaks out. Refs and producers break it up. Afterwards, we got a Wes Lee interview. He's still feeling the sting of Sanga's comments. He says, but I stand by my challenge. He says, Mackenzie's like, Wes, I don't really feel like Sanga meant any disrespect. He's like, oh, maybe not to you. He says, but this is something I got to do. It's like, this dude knows. He already dug his hole. He already made his bed. Now he's got to what's he got to do?
Dig his way out of it.
No, sleep in it. I said he made his bed.
I heard hole.
Yeah, I know, but then I said the bed thing. Come on, the Metaphor Tag Team, man. The Metaphor Tag Team.
Well, I got the first part of it right.
Yeah, well. Anyways, we got some work to do, man. We're like Idris and Malik now.
I guess so.
Anyways, so yeah, he's like, I got to face guys like Sanga to prove that I can do that. Afterwards, we had Sanga versus Wesley. Sanga murdered him.
Sanga beat the shit out of him.
He really, really beat the shit out of him.
Just beat the shit out of him.
Yeah. So anyways, afterwards, this dude all about running it straight. Zion Quinn shows up.
I don't know what that means. I have no idea what that means.
He's about to lay into Wesley. He's about to find out what running it straight means. Wesley is. And he gets in there, but that Sanga says, not going to happen. You're going to run straight out of here. And he runs Zion Quinn. I mean, he actually takes him off and throws him, and then he picks up Wesley. He's like, "Hey, brother,
Yeah, he basically puts his arm around him.
I know. It was so sweet.
It was so
I
nice.
want Sanga to put his arm around me.
He seems like a nice guy.
Yeah, dude. And you know what? He runs it straight.
Then we had I don't know what that means.
I don't know what it means.
Then we had Roxanne Perez and Cora Jade backstage. Cora's like, one win away from the finals. You got this. Are you ready? And Perez says, oh, no, Lash is twice my size. It's going to be tough. And then Cora tells a story about facing Jenna Waters in a match and about all the obstacles they had overcome to win that.
This was long and wordy. There was just
it was long and wordy. And then Cora says, hey, no one likes being talked to, trash talk towards them. And then even when Electra Lopez does it, says, I want to watch her match from the crowd tonight.
We are doing a piss poor job of speedrunning this, Larson.
I'm sorry. I'm trying my best.
Don't apologize. Right, I'm saying we, man. It's you and me. After that, Braun storms into the locker room. He sees a he sees a Polaroid of his dad and himself as kids and like his two brothers or whatever. And he's like, oh, this is from 20 years ago. Although now that we didn't really use Polaroids back in 2002.
2002, and this is like something from the 70s because it had like the kind of washed out color.
Yeah,
it
right.
Much older than 20 years ago. We're like 40. Try 40.
It really did. I'm sorry, but the 80s were that long ago.
I know.
After that, we had Electra Lopez versus Alba Fire. Alba Fire's got a terrific entrance, man. It's super cool.
It is pretty cool.
Anyways, she wins. What's her face? Alba Fire gets the win here with a swanton. And then on the way out, because Cora Jade was ringside with some wonderful looking popcorn, Lopez gets mad, smacks the popcorn out of her hand. I wonder if she ever asked for that's a setup for a match there. Hey,
again. So like NXT UK.
Where's my popcorn? Yeah, that's totally NXT UK right there. It's a pint.
Exactly. Then we're in the Diamond Mine gym. Damon Kemp's on the phone. And Creed's walk in and Kemp says, yeah, Roddy's not going to make it tonight. He's hurt, twisted his ankle. And Creed's like, how'd that happen? Why didn't you tell us?
His response is, well, WWE wouldn't grant his release, so he's injured now.
Yeah, I guess so. Well. So Julius, with some terrible medical advice, says, this is Diamond. You tape it up and you perform. Don't listen to Julius Creed for your medical advice.
Yeah, it's probably not. Yeah, this isn't the 1970s, man.
No.
Although if you're a Braun Breaker, evidently 20 years it was. So Kemp says, what? I'm not there to get in the way. I'm here to earn my spot and follow orders. And then he leaves because he's like, our boss isn't even here now. And then Brutus says, pretty deadly always gets lucky. And Julia says, well, in your house, their luck is going to run out. After that, we had a brief Fallon Henley interview where she's told that Nikita Lyons has to withdraw from the tournament. So Fallon gets a bye. And, of course, the dudes are there with her. Fallon says, man, I was looking forward to losing to Lyons. And then Briggs says, you know what? We understand that injuries happen. It was a freak accident during training. And then Tiffany Stratton steps in, says, you're going to fight me. So that match happens a little bit later.
Yep. But first, we get Roxanne Perez versus Lash Legend. Roxanne gets the win, countering a powerbomb with Pop Rocks to get the W.
Yep.
She moves on to the finals, the Breakout Star Tournament. Next, we get a Toxic Attraction promo. Mandy, this promoter says, Indy, calling me out is the worst decision you ever made. And then Toxic Attraction is jumped by Katana Chance, and Caden Carter. Refs the producers in to break it up.
Yeah, and Mandy just bolts. And she's like, ugh. After that, we had a Braun Breaker interview. Yeah. Says, Gacy's trying to find a way to make me snap. Highlighted Braun's high school. Oh, yeah. And then there's like a TV next to them. And then all of a sudden.
Hold on. Did you skipped over Indy Hartwell versus Mandy Rose? Did you not?
I did. Yeah. Mandy won.
Mandy
won.
With a knee. Mandy won with a knee. Yeah. Yeah. And then Gigi and JC, they came out during the match. And then Katana Chance, and King Carter brawled them. And then Wendy Chu blast Mandy from behind with a ball bag.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Which I don't know how that really hurt because it was like.
It's just a continuing thing of people selling that shit. Like the water guns and stuff. Yeah,
the water guns. I understand that. But
yeah, it was
the huge playground, bouncy balls.
Yeah. So, so the Nikita Lyons thing. That's is that real? People in chat are saying that's real.
Apparently she has an MCL injury.
Oh no, she's terrific. I don't know. Is there truth to the Roderick Strong stuff? Do we know that?
I don't know anything about that.
Yeah, man, he suffered from a case of denial of release. So Braun Breaker's like, yeah, trying to find a way to make me snap. And then all of a sudden, some game footage of him in high school at a football game pops up on a monitor right next to him. And he's like, oh, I remember this game. My dad couldn't make it because he was in Japan, wrecking the Legion of Doom. Didn't actually say that last part.
This was probably like 7 years ago or something like that. Rick was already retired.
That dude was already in the real estate. Yeah, their twisted version of space-time is
time's a flat circle, I guess.
It is, man.
Yes, boy. Pretty deadly promo. A lot of yes boys. They say, hey, things aren't going very well over there for Dynamite. Creeds are going to lose to them and in your house. Yes, boy.
Yes, boy. After that, we had Tiffany Stratton versus Fallon Henley. Once again, yeah, like we said, Stratton's pretty good here. She ends up getting that twisting Vader bomb, which is, I love to watch that. That's a great looking move. And then Waller comes out to the ring to celebrate with Stratton. They're a fun couple right there, man. After that, we had a Caden and Katana Chance interview, and they said, we told everybody to stop mistaking our kindness for weakness. Toxic found out. Anyways, they say they're gonna win all the tag titles.
Yeah, they would challenge them for a tag title match. Wendy Chu steps in. It's like, I'm going to face Mandy it in your house, too.
Like, I want to be
They're going to lose all their titles.
Yeah, none of that's going to happen, by the way. After that, we had an awesome show-stealing Von Wagner video package. And then a Thea Hale video package where she talks about, she's like, a lot of my friends are going to be doctors and teachers, and that's great. But I'm going to be a real star, WWE superstar. I'm like, oh. Anyways, after that, she's like 18 years old. My God. Yeesh. Apparently, she's had some matches on Level Up.
Yeah.
That's what, I don't know if she's had one this week, but Enforcer will tell you in a little bit.
Indeed. Then we get Braun on the phone. Duke Hudson steps in, and he comes in and is like very gentlemanly. He's like, hey, I didn't do any of this stuff tonight. It's all Gacy. But I just want to let you know I'm ready. And Braun's like, all right, I'll see you out there. And then Duke just takes a sharp turn and says, I don't really care if you got daddy issues. Braun grabs him and slams against the locker. And Duke just goes, yeah, Joe Gacy is right about you.
Who'd have thought Duke Hudson playing mind games of all people?
Oh, I know.
After that, we had Von Wagner versus Ike Manjiro. Von wins with his finisher. He's about to throw Jiro into the crowd again. Briggs comes out to make the save, and Von's about to go back, and then that one, what's her name? I forget her name.
Sophia Cromwell.
Yeah, sounds like a Sherlock Holmes character. Stops him from getting in the ring.
Yep.
After that, we had a Tony D'Angelo interview. He says, this thing needs to end with Legato. He says, I'd in your house. I'm demanding one last business meeting, but this time I'm coming to Legato. I got someone in my back pocket, and if I have to, I'm going to give him an offer he can't refuse.
I wonder who that is.
I don't know. I wonder if it's this Giovanni Vinci person.
Oh, maybe that we'll learn more about this individual later. First, Robert Stone, he's backstage. He's like lecturing Von.
Yeah.
He says, you've pissed off a lot of people. You need to have eyes in the back of your head. And then Sophia just goes, stop. If you want to get noticed in NXT, you got to ruffle feathers. And that's exactly what Von is doing. He can handle anything that comes his way. And she leaves, and he just goes, yeah, I can.
He's the worst. After that, we had a toxic. Good Lord, there's a lot of promos here. Toxic Attraction promo. They were like, Steven Larson think they're going to speed run this episode? It's fiction.
Yeah, nope.
So anyways, it's Toxic Attraction promo. Mandy says she's done with Wendy Chu, calls her a joke. And then the other two talk also. This was disconcerting. Mello and Trick, they're in their barbershop, man. It's their safe space. It's their place to commiserate, hang out with their friends, and on top of all that, get a fresh haircut. But then this son of a bitch, Cameron Grimes, shows up. Hey, what's going on? I want a haircut too. No, I just want to talk. And so a lot of stuff is just said. The entire time, Mello's like, man, this dude's stinking up my place. And Trick is about to pounce too. And then Grimes says, I don't even want a haircut. And then he leaves. All they do is jaw back and forth about the North American Championship and who's an A champion, who's just a champion, et cetera, et cetera.
Or who's a title holder.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
All so right, who's this Giovanni Vinci person?
It's probably Fabian Eichner.
Shit. Shit, you're probably right, huh? Wow. Hey, he's gonna be a good-looking guy. He's got a fashion. He's like an Italian, fashion rich person.
Yeah.
You know, so he'll look cool. He'll have some cool suits on whatever NXT salary he gets.
Yeah,
be
pull some off the rack in a wardrobe.
He'll go to the Orlando equivalent of Frankenstein's and pick up some bootleg Versace
Men's Warehouse stuff or something like that.
Men's Warehouse. It's not even bootleg Gucci. It's bootleg Men's Warehouse.
Yep. Then we had our main event, Braun Breaker versus Duke Hudson. Before the match began, Joe Gacy has a promo. He tells the Druids, "You've done a fabulous job tonight. We're getting to Braun, and during this match, we'll make sure of it." Mm-hmm. So, predictably, during the match, Gacy and the Druids, who are definitely grizzled young veterans, are standing up on that platform in the crowd. At one point, Duke shoves Braun off the top rope. He tumbles to the floor at the feet of the Druids. Braun clotheslines later on himself and Duke out of the ring. He puts Duke back in, and he's like right face to face the Druids. He just lays them out. Mm-hmm. And when he gets back in the ring, Duke has a chair now.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
So Braun gets the chair from Duke. He fights off the Druids and Gacy, and then kind of impulsively, because I think Duke grabbed him and tried to turn him around, he just blasts Duke with the chair. He loses by DQ. And Joe's on the floor and says, "Braun, you can't control your impulses."
Yeah, the way he dispatched the Druids was pretty hilarious, because like a bunch of dudes stumbling around in Druids outfits is just really silly. So anyways, it was a bunch of goofiness. Anyways, let's go ahead and answer some questions. Hey, good job speedrunning that. We did pretty good. Considering how much we had, it's a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I think 15 minutes for a 2-hour show is a reasonable speed run, yeah.
I think I agree with that. All right, let's take a look here. We got a couple of questions here on the Patreon, patreon.com/Steven Larson. Soak and Rose says, if Brandy went back to WWE, do you think they'll, Brandy Rhodes goes back to WWE, you think they'll keep her current name or they call her Eden Styles? No, man, he's got the most complex contract in the history of WWE. She's going to be Brandy Rhodes.
Yeah, I'm happy you specified Brandy Rhodes. I thought you talked about Brandy from Storage Wars at first.
Wow. Have you been watching that recently?
Oh.
Jared and Brandy go back to WWE. Yep. I love that's where your mind went. David Matushek says, considering that Justin Roberts is nicknamed the Dapper Yapper, which other announcers would you give nicknames to, and what would they be? Would you give, well, the Fink? He's already got a nickname, isn't it? They call him Howard Finkel, the Fink?
Yeah.
Yeah. What about
was his name Mike Rome, WWE?
Yeah, Mike Rome. Yeah. He's got a nickname, Tom Mike.
That's right.
Yeah, Jericho gave him that. What about Jillian Garcia? I don't know.
Lou says we forgot about the Level Up Lowdown. While I think about this answer, let's go to the Level Up Lowdown, Steve.
Time for the Level Up Lowdown from the Enforcer.
Hey, friendos, how's it going? It's the Enforcer here with another edition of the review show nobody asked for, but you're going to get it anyway. It's time for the Level Up Lowdown. First one up is Javier Bernal versus the debuting Bryson Montana. Bryson Montana is from Texas. Bryson was the last man standing in the Ivy Nile Challenge a couple weeks ago on 2.0. Comes out wearing a weighted vest. He's got a real good build on him. A commentary puts over the fact that both of these competitors are former high school football players. Bryson in the middle of the match does a kip up and a cartwheel. Shout out to the kip up and Jack Cartwheel. Bryson gets Bernal into a version of a torture rack, but only has him on one shoulder. So he's got him on one shoulder, head this way, feet this way, trying to like work him, seeing what's going on with that. He gets out of it into an atomic drop, and then Level Up's favorite finishing, or not finishing maneuver, but just maneuver in general, which is the side Russian leg sweep. Okay, and the match of the week on Level Up is this one. Ulyssa Leon, one half of the Pan American Connection, going up against Ivy Nile. This is a rematch from back in November of last year. Ivy Nile starts off by using her strength and keeping the match mat-based for the good portion of the beginning. Yulisa tries to force Nile into the corner, but comes up about 2 feet short. Little bit of a botch, but they recover quickly on that one. Nile then gains control and quickly works over the shoulder. Leon then gets advantage in the match, basically using this being a rematch, the tape that she studied from the match before, to really give Ivy Nile the best match that I have seen Ivy put on while she's been in 2.0. All right, let's see here. This is, yeah, saying this is the first time that I've seen Ivy really look stunned. Like there was a moment where Ivy looked, you know, was taking a lot of offense from Leon here. One cool thing, Leon got Ivy into a cravat. Quickly, Ivy worked herself into a cravat, double cravat, into a double neck breaker. Ivy brings the action down. They both take the bump. Good stuff here. Digging this one here. Ivy gets a flurry of kicks in afterwards, after that, to gain advantage into a 2 count. Yulisa goes for a slam, but gets a 2 out of it. But then Ivy gets her finisher, the Dragon Sleeper, on immediately after the 2 count. Basically just rolls right on over into that maneuver. Taps quick. Good match. I did put on my Twitter the link to this one on YouTube if someone wants to check it out. 3-minute clip. Really worth checking out. Last match here, Josh Briggs against Quincy Elliott. I will say this. The main thing that I got out of this one is that Quincy Elliott loves to grind on opponents. All right? He'll grind on opponents. When they're down, he'll go get his grinding going on. So that's his gimmick. He loves to grind. All right? Just going down the stretch, Quincy misses a bonsai bomb from the second rope. Briggs starts swinging on Quincy, trying to chop down the big tree. Big boot to a sidewalk slam. Works it into a big lariat for the 1, the 2, and the 3. So, with all that being said, I am done with my level up lowdown. Steve, Larson, hot tag. Back to you guys. Take care. Have a good one. Bye.
Thank you, Enforcer. Seemed like a compelling episode of the Level Up.
Yes, thank you, Enforcer.
Was he on it? I didn't even watch it. Was he on his couch this week? Oh man, yeah. I still don't have a name for Jillian Garcia.
Don't have anything. We had all that time to think about it and came up with nothing.
We had 5 whole minutes.
I know.
Yeah. Lou says, "Wait, what?" Yeah, no, we don't show it here live, Lou. I just toss it in post production. I always forget about it.
Dangam Q says, if The Way was still around and went to SmackDown, would Pat McAfee have made a reference to the song from Fastball? Yes. Yes.
Yeah. But the thing is, if The Way showed up in AEW, that reference is too recent for JR to make.
You wouldn't understand it.
You wouldn't
understand it whatsoever.
It. Oh, man. Let's see here. Pacific Caleb says, I just recently saw the video that MVP posted a while ago where he was talking to an alligator and trying to recruit it to the Hurt Business. I have not seen that video. That sounds amazing. That sounds great. He says, what animals do you think should join what factions? The Jericho Appreciation Society. Wizard.
Oh, it'd be a bear.
Why?
Because there's pro wrestling matches against bears.
Oh, like Sports Center? That's a sports entertainment thing?
Yeah, sure.
Well, what are there any animals besides dragons that sort of go with wizards?
Well, I guess dragons would be tops.
I mean, they're not real, though.
Yeah, I know.
From what I understand, anyways. I don't know. They might have lived back in the day. You never know what happened back then. All sorts of weird shit. Alex Foster says, what's the next step you want in Legato versus Tony D? The end.
Yeah. The culmination, please.
Yeah, and then please another business meeting. Why don't you?
Yeah, I know. Where their families merge, apparently, you know?
Yeah, conglomerate. Yeah, that's what I want. A conglomeration
of
a corporate merger and acquisition. Yeah, that's good. Let's see here. Don Wagner mentioned this before AEW even went on the air. Says Wardlow is totally doing a moonsault off the top of the cage. Unless he wrote this while in an alternate universe. He says, power rank best big man top rope moves. Well, the best big man second rope move, of course, would be Sid. The next one would be Lesnar at WrestleMania.
I guess Big Show did an interview recently that said in training with WCW, he was doing moonsaults off the top.
That's not surprising. That guy was agile as fuck for his size.
He was super athletic. I know.
Yeah, he was. His drop kick was impressive back then.
Yeah, it really was.
Back in like 95, yeah. Let's see here. Xavier Gray says, Tiffany Stratton or Roxanne Perez. Who do you think's going to win the tournament? Neither would shock me, but I'm leaning towards Roxanne. I think you're right about that. He says, and who's going to go after which title? Which title?
Well, I guess if you win the tournament, you get your choice going after the women's title, I guess the tag titles. Now, I guess the question would be if Roxanne were to win, she already had a match against Mandy and lost.
Oh, she can team up with Cora and go after the tag titles.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah, Roxanne makes all the sense in the world because if Tiffany wins, like number one, she ain't got no friends besides Grayson Waller.
And it'd be a heel versus heel thing.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see here. Steve Klain says, what's the wildest thing that can happen at Double or Nothing? 2 words. Wyndham Rotunda.
Yeah.
I was thinking about that. Maybe. That's all I got, though. You got anything else? The wildest thing that could happen? Power goes out and then they have to redo it the next day.
Sure, yeah.
That's pretty wild.
Like an In Your House show.
That's pretty crazy, yeah. Yeah, that'd be good. Roman Reigns shows up. Vince McMahon buys AEW. That's the wildest thing that happened.
MJF comes out before his match against Wardlow and says, Wardlow, you're not going to face me. You're going to face the true master of the powerbomb, and it's Sid.
That'd be wild. Super wild.
Yeah.
Gargano and Candice showing up wouldn't be super wild. That'd be interesting, but not wild.
Sid showing up would be wild.
Oh, that's good. Peacemaker shows up.
Oh, that is a Warner property.
Anyways, that's going to do it for us. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. We appreciate it. Tomorrow, 5 p.m. Pacific, Smash Zone. Till next time, we'll talk to you later.
Goodbye.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Stone Cold Steve Austin impersonator Phil McDonald here to tell you to go support Going In Raw and Friendo Club at patreon.com/Steven Larson. They got bonus episodes, ad-free audio, a weekly newsletter rounding up the weekend wrestling news, and a bunch more. Patreon.com/Steven Larson. Go support or get hit with a stunner.